Never have I ever. Oh my gosh, not even a 2? Gosh. Ah! Banshee scream! Oh, what the hell? That's a pretty cool arena. Ah! Just ate his skull?
Fatality.
Fatality.
I think the idea for fatalities just came from the desire to rub it in someone's face, to just finish that person.
We always liked the idea of letting the player, get a free hit on somebody.
The fatality.
What does that even mean?
It's a way to really put like an exclamation point on the end of a fight.
It's just sort of an arcade mentality, when everybody's competing against each other.
Or they just mean that very end when it says
and everybody's
finish him?
watching, you want to be able to just jab that guy, a little bit more.
And if you were able to do a fatality, it was something that made you cool. How did you do it? And you can kind of either keep it a secret or, share the information.
It was a major enticement.
Oh, like back on the arcade
As time
games?
went on, it became an expected part of a Mortal Kombat game that you couldn't conceivably put out a Mortal Kombat game without having fatalities in it.
Some of the ideas for the fatalities in Mortal Kombat 1 came from pop culture, from some movies that we had seen, comic books or whatever, just, things that really struck us as being violent.
This is what he means by the free hit, but then if you know what you're doing, you do the fatality. It is kind of cool, especially back in the day when they don't have like movesets, probably like you can't pause the game.
The spine rip from Sub-Zero, that was the one that usually got the most attention, the most oohs and ahs in the arcades.
We wanted to do a sort of a fatality, sort of a move, but that wasn't really a fatality.
When we came up with the idea of the pit and knocking somebody down into the spikes below, we really wanted to make sure that we had a fatality in the game that anybody could do.
It actually wasn't played up like a regular fatality because it didn't have the whole choreography. It was just all of a sudden you were punched off the bridge and you fell and died.
With Mortal Kombat 2, we wanted to do everything bigger and better. And with that game, we realized that fatalities had such a big impact into people's reaction to the game. With Mortal Kombat 1, it was something that we threw in there. We said, okay, maybe people are going to like it. Let's see. With Mortal Kombat 2, we knew that was a showcase feature for these games.
We added a second fatality to give the game some legs. I mean, there wasn't just one fatality you had to learn. Now you had to learn 2.
I think it was all about being, bigger and badder and better.
And we really wanted to kind of push the envelope again, kind of do something that was very, over the top in terms of just the...
That one was pretty cool with Shang Tsung. Sucking the soul out of him. Why does Raiden look like a clown there? What the fuck?
Flawless victory.
My favorite fatality from MK2 was Kitana's kiss and inflate fatality. We really started, introducing levels of humor into the game. It wasn't so dark, and so when Kitana kissed the guy and then he inflated and then exploded, it was outrageous.
Double
It was
flawless
violent,
means somebody
but
was
at the
just
same
recording
time,
these.
There was humor in it. I liked always kind of combining the two. It's kind of like, dark
Like they were just
comedy.
doing it on
My
like
most
a
memorable
someone who's not
fatality
moving.
from Mortal Kombat 2 would probably be Liu Kang turning into the dragon and biting the guy. I worked on that particular one, and it kind of stands out because it's so big. The dragon. You don't expect, a character. He's the only character that turns into anything, I think, in Mortal Kombat 2.
Shang Tsung turns into fucking Kitaro. That's nasty, dirty.
Characters. He kind of has this Clint Eastwood, the brow thing going on, and the blade on the hat, and it was just it's gruesome. Is the taking a hat and split down the middle, and the body does the whole.
I guess I remember the Scorpion one where he demasks and then you see his skull and then he burns you up with flames out of his mouth.
This is the only remaining artifact of the infamous plastic skeleton model. basically, so we have to take a model like this, like the skeleton arm, and we move it up and put like a piece of clay in here. Take a picture, move it up, put a piece of clay, take a picture, and do this. So it's essentially you'd have this motion. So all of a sudden, then we put that in the computer, and that would go ahead and like paint fire on it. If you ever were caught on fire, this is the natural motion you would probably do.
Yeah, it is probably the natural motion.
Flawless victory.
We had to add
Raiden's face is so
more
white.
stage fatalities to Mortal Kombat 2 to up, the ante on, for Mortal Kombat 1.
The pit was a huge success in Mortal Kombat 1, so we wanted to kind of come up with like a pseudo 3D version of it.
That one that he just punched the dude into the toxic pit, it reminds me of like I think it was a Mortal Kombat 9 DLC map for the Blood Lady, where she had the same thing, but it was like blood on either side.
Scales up, so it looks like it's getting closer. So that was it was cool. So the guy would go and smack, hit the ground.
I think the idea of friendships came from the reaction to all the attention that Mortal Kombat 1 was getting with its fatalities. And so it was kind of like our way of making fun of all the attention that game got because of the fatalities.
And so the thought was, well, we can be nice too and put in these friendships instead. So instead of ripping someone's heart out, you can give them a cake.
My favorite friendship move is probably Liu Kang's disco dance one. That's probably
pretty
the
good.
silliest one. It's just so completely out of character.
The friendship that sticks out in my mind is the one where Jax has the paper dolls and stretches them out. That's pretty
Can I
funny.
rewind? I don't want to mess around too much. Oh, the Babality.
My recollection of Babalities is I remember Dan Forden, who's the audio guy. He came up to me and he said, hey, how about we do something called a Babality where you turn your opponent into a baby.
And I'm not sure what that was about, but I think it was from searching through sound effects CDs for stuff for the game, and I came across some babies crying or something. And I don't know, it just sort of popped in my head. It's like, well, what if you turned them into a baby and then they would cry or something? And so
I was like, why would you do that? And he was just like, well, I just think it'd be funny. And
Why would
it was
you
good
do
for
that?
me. So, all it required was for us to make, 12 little baby images.
Why would you do
One of the
that?
improvements to Mortal Kombat 3 over Mortal Kombat 2 was the addition of using 3D graphics to come up with some of the backgrounds.
A lot of the effects, from little blood explosions, they weren't so much done by hand anymore. They're actually done in 3D.
MK3, we took the same approach to making that game as we did with Mortal Kombat 2, where basically it's more, bigger, better.
some of my favorites from MK3 are probably Sindel's when she screams your skin off. She's a very loud voice.
Reptile, where
Yeah, she does.
kind of pukes acid on the opponent, and you see him kind of the acid eat away at the other guy.
I like that
Sector
map
had one
too,
of my
with the
favorite
wind in the
fatalities
background.
in Mortal Kombat 3. His chest doors would open up. This huge mechanical device would open up, squish him, go right back into his chest. I thought it was funny because there was no way that size of a squisher could come out of his chest, but yet it did.
Also, there was one where Jax kind of grew
Oh my
into this
God.
giant, and then you kind of stepped on the other guy. Again, that was a little bit more towards the humorous side, but it was something kind of outrageous nonetheless.
The dragon.
Liu Kang wins.
They were both low there. Animality.
Animalities, I believe, were created by the fans.
What the
They
fuck?
wanted to see
Oh my
different
gosh.
modes. They wanted to see nudalities, which of course we couldn't do.
And one of the rumors that wasn't true was this feature called an animality.
That someone put out there, oh,
It
you
wasn't
can turn
true?
Scorpion into an animal, and which wasn't true. But then we decided to make it true in MK3.
The reason some of these alities weren't done past Mortal Kombat 3 is because it's difficult to get things to transform in a 3D environment. I mean, I suppose you could do it with a puff of smoke that covers the change, but to morph, one completely different model into another completely different model, is a little difficult to do.
It takes a little bit of
It was
work,
definitely
okay,
different
bud?
doing fatalities in MK4 as opposed to the previous games because everything was in 3D.
Definitely, I think the biggest thing was the
Mike
ability
Boone.
to sever limbs, and we were
Oh,
never
Mike
able to
Boone.
really do that before. And so, when you were able to blow people up and just tear them literally limb from limb, that opened up a lot of creative input for more things that we could do.
Now we can move the camera around. We did a lot of funny, kind of like maybe 3 camera cuts of the same, explosion or something like that. Like, big thing is we'll have the body blow up and have the camera cut around it. Then, the last camera cut, you see the head rotating and hit the camera and fall.
Well, the biggest limitation on animation in the 2D games was that every frame of animation was an entire separate image. So it was very memory intensive to have smooth animation. So with motion capture, we have this full fluid motion that wasn't available in a 2D game.
Animation-wise, it actually becomes a little bit easier because you only have to capture the motion once and then you apply it to a 3D model, as opposed to having every single character in the digitized world. You'd have to have every
That's a
single
good kick.
character act out, having every fatality done to them.
One of my favorite fatalities in MK4 was reptiles. The one specifically where he actually
Oh gosh,
jumps
4 looks
up
weird.
on the victim and just starts gnawing
What the
at
fuck?
him.
It looks like Piccolo.
He gets up, he pushes the victim down. The camera zooms up on the character's face, and you just see a mutilated face. It was just really, really gruesome and really effective.
Next would probably be the Shinnok one, where his hand, that skeleton hand, would come up and
Oh yeah.
drag you into hell. That was kind of cool too.
I came in at the very end on doing fatalities. I did Reiko, so that's the one I remember the best. Not that it was a very spectacular fatality, but it was the very first Mortal Kombat fatality I ever programmed.
I think the advantage for not having to deal with the arcade was that we had a fixed platform. I mean, granted, the console systems vary, but not having to worry about the real big differences between graphic chips and things that the arcade systems have versus the consoles.
The time that it takes to go from raw data to finished product is much shorter. You get to spend a lot more effort on the creativity side of it.
We just about tripled our polygon count. We expanded our texture size tremendously. We expanded motion and a lot of the effects we could do. So it opened up a lot of doors to do wild fatalities.
So with Deadly Alliance, suddenly we knew we were in the home. We didn't have to ask for 50 cents every 2 minutes. So we can really stage our fatalities and make them these big events. And that's why they started becoming a lot more elaborate.
My favorite fatality in Deadly Alliance has to be the Sub-Zero pulling the whole skeleton out of his victim. That was the first fatality programming that I got to do, and it was a lot of fun putting in the effects, the blood.
How the fuck do you pull a full skeleton out?
Cyrax was where he had this hydraulic
Oh my
arm that
gosh.
came out and grabbed the victim and just slammed him up.
Drummond looks pretty sick too.
The bloody pulp. That was good times.
I think my favorite fatality from Deadly Alliance was Kung Lao's. It was, there was a little bit of humor, but it was also
Kung
kind of
Lao
flashy,
Ginger?
stylish. He threw his hat,
What
it
the
stuck into the
fuck?
guy's head, and he fell down. And then he would kind of stomp on the opponent, and the head would fly up, and he would catch it and do this kind of fancy pose, which was, silly in some ways, fancy, and stylish in other ways. But it was probably one of the more elaborate fatalities from Deadly Alliance.
For MK Deadly Alliance, we scaled back to only 1 fatality per character, basically due to time factors. We didn't have time to do 2 for every character.
It just got to the point where at the end of the game, we just couldn't get all the content in. So we ended up deciding on 1 fatality per character, and that's how it ended up.
Part of the reason we decided to go with 2 fatalities in Deception is we'd heard pretty clear from a lot of the fans that they wanted more. They really loved the fatalities in Deadly Alliance, and they wanted us to expand and keep adding, so we decided to go for 2 with each character.
Kira, one of the new characters, she just kind of does she throws her knives at the victim's feet, the guy gets stuck, and then she kind of does a little walk and then just rips the body in half and throws it out. Working with the animators, especially Carlos, who does the animation, it was kind of funny seeing like how he would be the guy who's doing the walking for the female character.
One of the most disturbing fatalities is Melina.
Oh, what the hell? That's a guy walking? Oh, hell no.
And then when she's done, she does this sexy sort of, you know, that was awesome.
That was the guy animator.
What fans don't know is that was Carlos.
Ah!
Takes a swing.
Wow, it was Carlos.
Takes a torch.
Fucking
and lights a guy on
Carlos.
fire. And then the other one is him basically, you know, expelling gas or farting, and then using the same torch.
All right, show's the best.
You know, and having the gas like ignite and then burn up the character.
The reason we added the harikiri was to give the other opponent a chance, you know, just a little bit of a window to kind of turn the tables on the other guy.
Oh my God, you can end it?
We thought it would be cool to make the fatality part of the game like a race. So it's basically who can do a fatality first.
Probably one of my favorite harikiris is Ermax. It's just so gruesome. He gets down on his knees and basically just starts ramming his head into the floor.
I think Kenshi, because it's the classical, you know, samurai harikiri one, and then Nightwolf throwing up the axe. You know,
That's
Death
badass.
traps are something that
That's
we've
the one
always
with the
wanted to have in
Shujinku
the game
story.
ever since
Shujinku,
the
yeah.
beginnings. The
Deception.
whole idea is that while you're fighting, there's a chance that even if you're losing, you could have just 1 or 2 pixels of life left. You still have a chance to win.
This is the one with
So
Shujinku.
you're
I love
trying
this
to
map.
maneuver your victim into the danger zone. It adds a lot of extra strategy to the game. My favorite death trap in Deception was definitely the grinder. When you knocked your opponent in there, there'd be these 2 huge grinders that would pin the victim, and it would be bad enough if the victim just went right through it, but instead the victim is trapped in there, and there's just a little bit of tension where you feel his bones crushing almost. And then eventually he gets sucked through and blood is projected onto the wall behind him.
My favorite death trap in Deception is the Hell's Foundry Smasher. The character gets kicked into a wall, lands on a hot slab of metal. His skin, his shoes, and clothes should be on fire now, but yet he's trying to get back to safety on this hot metal, and wham!
Yeah, that was messed up.
The idea behind the creative fatality system is to really expand the fatality instead of just doing a really complicated button combo and sitting back
What,
and
did
watching
he
everything happen.
rip her arm off and then rip
Put,
2 more arms off?
More options in the player's hands. Let them show creativity by stringing different attacks.
He ripped 3
Every
arms
time
off
you
over.
perform one, you have a little less time to perform the second one. So a really good player is going to get 2 or 3 part fatalities in there, and a great player is going to get like a 7 or 8 part fatality.
7 or 8 in my ass.
Amazing player is going to get, you know, a 9 or 10 part fatality in there. So it actually is a gameplay feature. We are
Yeah, I get to like
working on
7 possibly
so
highest.
it's- not only is it a great show, but it's an actually a skill that you have to learn.
We spent a lot of time thinking about the death traps in Armageddon. They're much more elaborate than the ones we've seen in Deception.
My favorite stage fatality has got to be the classic falling through a floor and landing on spikes. And in Armageddon, we've
Oh, what the hell?
updated it in the
Zucker?
Bell Tower Arena.
That's the
We
Zuckerberg?
have a
The black
4-pronged
hair?
spike. When someone lands on it, each limb gets severed. We even have a rat that comes in and grabs one of the arms and num-nums away with it.
It's hard to pick my favorite death trap in Armageddon. There's a lot of good ones.
I like the like fighting pit where there's like all 4 corners have one.
In 3D of a fatality that we had in Mortal Kombat 3, and it's a lot more of a cinematic presentation. Looks a lot more painful, and you know people remember it, but they don't remember seeing it how we're presenting it.
Probably my favorite one right now is in the Wastelands.
It's cool. It's a cool visual. A guy getting thrown into the catapult with the burning balls, and all of a sudden, you know, he gets flung. So he's flying through the air on fire. Then he hits the wall. Then he slides down. So I like that. It worked out pretty well. I was happy with that.
I think my all-time favorite, as classic as it is, would be the Sub-Zero Spine Rift, that one.
that's kind of the signature one that everybody thinks of, that's always mentioned, and yeah, it's just kind of like the ultimate fatality for everybody.
My favorite fatality is ripping someone's heart out, and I think that defines what Mortal Kombat's all about.
Probably it would have to be the one of the stage fatalities. I think the collapsing cliffs one with the detail of
the cheat one
through your stomach. I think that was really great.
That's the one where you can just win by being a cheat
Mortal Kombat in the
beach.
arcade, I thought like when Scorpion like took off his ninja hood and blew his fire at the victim, and to see him like burn up in smoke, I thought that was like the coolest thing I ever saw, and it just was like a pretty good shock when I first saw that, and to this day it sticks with me.
I would have to go with a classic, and I'm gonna say it's Sub-Zero's spine rip from MK Deadly Alliance. Something about the choreography of the whole thing is a lot more elaborate than the previous spine rips he did.
My all-time favorite fatality is probably with Quan Chi in Mortal Kombat 4, where he tears the opponent's leg off and kind of beats him to death with it.
Quan Chi doing something like that is just weird.
Probably my least favorite fatalities are the ones that just receive the least polish, so that they don't look as convincing as they should.
My least favorite fatality from Mortal Kombat was in MK3, where he just started launching all these bombs out of his chest. The screen faded and you saw the earth, and the earth explodes, and that's it. That's the fatality. It was one of the quicker ones, I'm sure, that we did, and it was easily my least favorite fatality.
Boy, my least favorite one has got to be Scorpion's animality. Of all animals to change into, Scorpion changes into a penguin and lays an exploding egg.
Yeah, what the hell?
My least favorite fatality coincidentally also involves Quan Chi, and it is his neck stretch fatality from Deadly Alliance.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one.
What the hell?
Been given to someone else or been left on the drawing board, probably.
It was kind of done in a rush. He jumps up on the victim, grabs him by the head, and just pulls him, and his neck stretches super long. It looks pretty silly.
This guy walking around with the exaggerated neck, it makes me laugh. I know it's silly, but I think it's funny.
I'm not sure. I think we were getting a little low on creativity there.
That thing totally didn't make sense.
It was a funny idea, and we were going to do it, but once we saw it in the game, I personally said, it looks kind of dumb. But we left it in because we were running out of time. You know, sorry about that.
So Quan Chi has my favorite and least favorite fatalities in all of the Mortal Kombat series.
Deadly. Killer.
Killer.
Bloody.
Oh my god. That one was sick. You should have ripped the head and spine out too.
Vicious. Savage. Ultimate.
Oh, is that his Hidu Guri, or was he just taunting? Was he about to get a 10? Yeah, ain't no way. 7 max. Ain't no way. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh! He's out of
Wins. Extreme fatality.
Oh my fucking god. That was amazing. Actually amazing. I'm gonna press the buttons and see what happens on this one. Oh. Not a video. Perception. Oh.
John Turk, and I'm Sub-Zero.
The hell? He's a Giga Chad. Cool music.
You
What
know,
is this
the
map?
freeze move in the first Mortal Kombat really came about because I was always a big fan of kind of setting up the player for a free hit.
Is that what was in the last
game and
video?
playing Mortal Kombat 3 and the kid's playing Sub-Zero and I'm standing right behind him and he doesn't even realize that the guy he's playing is right behind him.
Let's get something straight. I am not a ninja. I am Lin Kuei. Scorpion was a ninja.
My martial arts style defined the character of Sub-Zero based on the way I move. The way I kick, the way I punch, the way I turn, the way I move my leg when I do sweeps.
Yeah, it is cool to see these though, because this is probably my favorite Mortal Kombat that I've had forever. And I even had these, the premium edition for a little bit, and I haven't checked it out. I finally wanted to. I was gonna play some after, but I don't think the disc is any different. I think this is this is the second disc. What the hell?
Inception, our goal was to really say, let's bring back the nostalgia characters, and obviously Sindel, Nightwolf, Baraka, Melina, all of those are in that category, and so we had to bring them back.
Fight.
Oh, sick! It like draws them in.
The wig that we had in Mortal Kombat 3 for Sindel didn't have that much hair. We did a lot of After Effects touch-ups. She had this ability to scream at super loud volumes, and that would stun the opponent and give you kind of a free hit.
Sindel wins.
He really likes the word free hit a lot. If that isn't the same, like that one isn't the same clip, but if that other one wasn't the same clip, then that'd be 3 times. It does kind of make sense though, you know? You do your little setups so that you can get your combo going. Behind her deception, roll credits.
Melina was created because we needed to stretch the memory in our game again. We were out of memory. We had a cool female character in Katana, and we wanted to kind of double up on that and give her, special moves, make an anti-Katana in a sense. And so that's kind of where Melina came from. And so then with Melina, we had also introduced Baraka, so we wanted to make a tie with her because Baraka was a really bad character. So underneath the mask, Katana is really beautiful, and underneath Melina's mask is, these really nasty teeth that were originally never on the costume, but we would just kind of draw them in on her fatalities.
This fact that she slurps some milk's crazy.
My name is Anthony Marquez, and I played Kung Lao. After the first Mortal Kombat, the creators wanted to introduce another Shaolin monk type character.
They had heard about me, and I seemed right for the part.
Tony was probably one of the best martial artists that we worked with. You could see his character, the kicks are really high and they're authentic, so he lended a lot just because of all of his experience with martial arts.
Yeah, holy fuck, this guy's crazy.
So in terms of his attitude, the way he moved, the tilt of the hat, all of that stemmed from what I thought Kung Lao should be. The favorite part of my personality always stemmed from the hat. You put on the costume and you're still just a person in costume. But once that hat goes on, it's almost like being Clint Eastwood in an old Western movie with the brim of the hat hiding your eyes, and when you slowly tilt that head up, once you make eye contact, that's Kung Lao. It's no longer Anthony Marquez, it's Kung Lao.
You can tell that man has some passion for the Kung Lao. I don't blame him. Kung Lao's sick. Bo Rai Cho.
The Spanish word for drunk is borracho, and figured that word kind of broke itself up nicely into 3 Asian-sounding kind of syllables. So Bo Rai Cho equals borracho, and hopefully some of you guys got that.
Oh yeah, of course I got that.
He's one of my favorite characters. I know a lot of people think he's kind of silly with his drunken moves, but he's actually one of the most powerful characters in the game.
He's actually one of our comic relief characters, Johnny Cage, and Bo Rai Cho's kind of the next one there.
Just the idea of this guy who just looks out of control, like he's just trashed, but he's a great fighter, and he incorporates that into his fighting. Very deceiving as far as his opponents go.
Bo Rai Cho is the mentor of Shujinku, and so he has a very prominent role in Deception. He was originally introduced in Deadly Alliance, and he was a fun character because he had this sort of jolly demeanor. He likes to drink, he likes to do his martial arts, and he likes to teach.
He's a very likable character to me, and I kind of like the idea that Mortal Kombat now has a teacher. Most martial arts movies, there's always that old guy that the young guy learns from, and Bo Rai Cho kind of fills that role for Mortal Kombat.
I was getting really far in Deception. I could hop back on that. They were getting so tough though, those fights. Holy.
Basically this slob. Like he pukes, he farts, he just has no sense of self-control.
And the sound that
Yo, that map's nice.
Dan
What
Forden
the
came
hell?
up with was so funny. We just had to get it into the game.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we put in the game that, we thought that the humor would wear out, but apparently every time somebody on the team listens to it or hears that sound, it manages to get a giggle out of them.
Oh, that's a stinky one.
Oh, it's a stinky one. How many people is there in Deception? Oh my. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Like 742 pages. I'll be here all night.
The favorite
What
character
the
that I
fuck?
played in Mortal Kombat was
Oh my
definitely
God.
Quan Chi.
Do not fail. We have toyed with the ninja long enough.
Quan Chi was a really interesting character because He was created for a game called Mortal Kombat Mythologies.
You are responsible for this, sorcerer!
Which was an adventure game that was being produced at the same time as we were doing Mortal Kombat 4. And so we thought it would be interesting to have him make an appearance in Mortal Kombat 4 as well as Mythologies, even though those two games happen in completely different parts of the Mortal Kombat timeline.
Quan Chi is one of the most mystifying characters to me. We really don't know what his origins are other than he's from the Netherrealm and he's part of the Brotherhood of Shadow.
Yeah, he
Who
looks
knows
sick,
how
too.
old he is. You know, he could be as old as the Netherrealm itself. But he is definitely evil. He is definitely an evil guy. I think of him as the greatest sorcerer in the Mortal Kombat universe. I think of him as being even more powerful than Shang Tsung.
I was gonna say, what about fucking Shinnok too? He like works for Shinnok and Shang Tsung all the
Rich
time.
DiVizio was hilarious as Quan Chi. He really played the part well. To me, he is Kano, and he is also Quan Chi. He's both of those characters. You can't look at Quan Chi and not think Rich.
And now, on to Hollywood.
The makeup was unbelievable, and I was actually able to act a little bit in full motion videos, which was very exciting for me.
I remember that the impetus behind the cabinet design on MK4 was the reintroduction of the series back then. They wanted it to stand out. in the
Both
midst of
sides
the
got his
arcades.
face.
As such, they wanted to push the sides as something that you could not miss. And so we did some shots in the studio, had Rich come in, put fire behind him, big old Quan Chi face. No one can miss it. And that's what ended up happening.
The first time I saw myself on the side of the Mortal Kombat 4 arcade stand,
Oh my
I was
goodness.
just blown away.
That chapter, Mortal Kombat 4, was the Quan Chi show in a sense.
Do not fail.
That one was amazing. Do not fail me.
Cabal first made his appearance in MK3. He was originally designed as kind of this nomad, sand person kind of character.
Again, we really wanted to create a character that seemed to have a handicap of sorts in terms of, like, he had this breathing apparatus that kept him alive. He still had these incredible powers that none of the other characters had.
He had a lot of cool moves. He had this dash, which he would run past a character, spinning him around, and then he could pull off some combos on him.
And everybody kind of liked his tornado move where he would run by the opponent and then they would spin like a top and they kind of get a free hit on them. Cabal also had these hook sword weapons that one of the few characters in the 2D games that actually had a weapon in the game. So that kind of made him stand out. He was actually one of the characters that was considered almost too powerful in Mortal Kombat 3. And we had to kind of tone him down for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
For Deception, we finally had the chance to bring Cabal back the way we originally intended him to be. You know, we gave him the long trench coat, gave him a backpack. That was part of the original design. But
Oh,
back
fuck
in
yeah,
the
that's some good
days
rain.
of
And the
digitizing,
lightning?
we couldn't really handle that. A long coat would have gotten in the way of the character's moves.
In the 2D games, we were really limited to the costumes that we could build because it was digitized graphics. And with the 3D games, we build the costumes on the computer so we can really do whatever we want.
Cabal's always been one of my favorite characters, so I was totally happy to bring him back for Deception, give him the classic design that we intended.
I actually have the Sub-Zero and the Scorpion one of these, but I don't think the other ones are actual cards. I think they're all just in here instead. But the Sub-Zero and Scorpion one are like metal. Pretty cool.
Sector and Cyrax were unique in that they were mechanical and they were robotic.
funny story about Cyrax and Sector was that originally we could not think of a name for them. So Tony Goski came up with the name Ketchup and Mustard, ketchup being Sector and mustard being Cyrax.
Cyrax was one of the many characters portrayed by Sal DeVita. When Sal was playing Cyrax, I felt the worst for him because he had this helmet on that I remember him sweating a lot inside, and he had just unbelievable tolerance for discomfort.
The costume for Sector and Cyrax was really heavy. It was a lot of plastic armor and plastic chest plates, but then a custom-made helmet, but hot, uncomfortable, couldn't breathe, couldn't hear anything, but somehow we made it through it. It was great.
Cyrax always had a lot of cool moves, a lot of cool gadgets. His chest opens up and bombs come out, nets come out. In Deadly Alliance, he had one of my favorite fatalities with the big claw, slams the guy down.
That's crazy nasty. That one's a little more believable than Melina like just sucking somebody up, but that is brutal. I heard this thing like if you get ran over by a train, depending on how it goes, I don't even know. I guess if it's going fast, you're probably done for, but thinking about it now, it doesn't really make sense, but you can get like stuck under it to where you're still alive for a while until they actually back it up and you blow up. Like you just get crushed, but you're not fully gonzo. I don't even know. Adenian Crown. I don't remember Jade and Armageddon.
Jade was the third in the series of characters that was derived from existing images. Jade was a female ninja type character like Melina and Katana were, and she was kind of like an evil version of Katana in a sense.
Jade is a childhood friend of Katana, which probably makes her thousands of years old, because Katana is thousands of years old. The approach we've taken with Jade in this game, in Mortal Kombat Deception, is that she's more of the stealthy ninja type of character. She's the one that sneaks around and gets information, and carries out covert activities. And I kind of like that about her. She's about getting things done, and she's very loyal.
We wanted to give her something that separated her from Katana Melina, so we gave her the staff weapon that was her weapon in Mortal Kombat 3. Not many characters had weapons in Mortal Kombat 3. That was really what we wanted to do to separate her from Katana Melina.
Oh my god. Nice pose too. Shao Kahn's next.
Kira is a Black Dragon member. She's kind of with Kano and everything, and one of the cool things about Kira was that because she's kind of with Kano and she's against Sonya, the one thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to give her a combination of all of Kano's moves and Sonya's.
I like how all these guys
Deadly
spam.
Alliance. So she's kind of like
guys that have been doing the
Kano
clips.
and Sonya. So she's a bad person. But
There was
she
someone
has all
on
of Sonya's moves.
the super
She also
speed
has
guy. I think his
Kano's
name's
fighting style,
Cabal or whatever.
And all of their super moves.
Just
combined
spamming front
together
kick.
gave Kira.
I love this map.
Kira has joined the newly reformed Black Dragon under the leadership of Cabal. She's kind of tough. She's definitely I would say a bad guy, but she's more disciplined than some of the other Black Dragons have been, like Kano.
Look at
She
that.
prides herself on her more disciplined
The
take on evil.
3-piece.
So Cabal sees in her a new spark that can really benefit the new Black Dragon.
The moves that Kira was given really makes her powerful, especially with her double-handed weapons. She moves very, very fast, but it can be powerful when used.
There's the triple windmill again. I don't even know if that was the same clip.
Getting used to, but if you can master her, she can.
Oh, two more?
Her attacks are very violent, and her weapons are very violent. She's kind of like the Fatal Attraction character.
No! No!
No! No! Should have worn a tighter belt.
Kira wins. Fatality.
What's on her arm? Looks like a fish. He looks fucking creepy there.
Shao Kahn was the big bad guy in Mortal Kombat.
Feel the power of Shao Kahn.
Well, Shao Kahn is kind of like the top of the ladder in terms of big bad guys in the Mortal Kombat series.
Prepare to die.
He was really the boss's boss in a sense, and he was basically the guy that everybody was ultimately trying to stop in terms of his invasion of Earth in Mortal Kombat 3. And he also had this charge move that would attack you with, and a lot of players didn't realize that all you had to do was duck underneath the charge move and then you got a free uppercut. Once they discovered that, he became a lot more manageable of a character to fight against, but until they discovered that, he seemed almost undefeatable.
Shao Kahn was killed in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, but nobody really ever dies in Mortal Kombat.
Just bring him right back in Armageddon. Or no, in Armageddon he gets taken away too. I don't think he's really a part of the story mode. I might have to play Armageddon again. I've ran through the beginning a few times just to get a bunch of coinage.
I believe Kenshi's name in Japanese means Sword Saint. His storyline from his past is that he used to
Sword
travel
Saint?
to Japan and challenge experienced
Kenshi Ishin?
swordsmen and warriors just to defeat them so he could become the best in Japan. Eventually he lets his ego get the best of him, and so Shang Tsung gets him to open up this tomb of Kenshi's ancestors, which blinds Kenshi. Shang Tsung then absorbs these warrior souls and becomes stronger, and he leaves Kenshi for dead. Kenshi then realizes what has just happened, and now he's got a vendetta against Shang Tsung. His sword that he finds there in the tomb is actually his ancestor's sword.
Fight!
Actually kind of sick. I didn't know that. I knew he got blinded, but I didn't know truly why.
But then we compensated it by giving him other abilities, and that kind of makes him that much more interesting of a character.
Yeah,
so
Kenshi's sick. This map is also sick.
Alliance, and you wouldn't think so, having a character.
Oh, this is Deadly Alliance? Dude, this map is sick too. What the fuck?
To propel his opponents
play Deadly
in various
Alliance.
directions. Lift him up over his head and slam him on the ground, propel him behind him,
This
push them
map's sick.
forward. So it's really like he's a very powerful distance player.
Yeah, the bleeding effect.
You
I love
have the
it.
ability to attack your opponent even when you're at great distances.
Not a big fan of that Kenshi outfit though. He should have just stretched his neck and left him. It looks definitely cooler like that, but that is definitely a way cooler Kenshi right there. The perception one. I think it's two more. Oh, fuck. It's three. Shujinko's coming up. I want to see his. Nightwolf too. They're all pretty interesting, honestly. Katana too. We've seen all the others. It's Katana's time. The Demon King was unaffected.
My
first impression of seeing myself in the game.
This is the
was
motherfucker,
ecstatic,
Carlos.
'cause I knew it was me.
This is the dude doing the
That
girl
was
dance. That's sick. He's also God, and he plays like pretty much everybody.
Thunder and lightning, that just kind of became what his thing was. And I think that was really kind of what inspired a lot of his special moves, was the fact that he was a god.
The crotch and titty electrocution. Now that was the sick arcade side, not the fucking Quan Chi staring
in
at
real
you.
life, I am a martial arts expert. I've been doing various arts for probably 22 plus years. You know, I'm wearing this hat. Got that on. Got that action working.
Yeah, the hat is gone. It was destroyed with one of the falls that Carlos took, and I don't think we've seen it ever since.
Do I have the hat? No, I wish I did. That's probably the one thing I wish I had. I feel really thankful to be part of the Mortal Kombat legacy, you know, and it's changed my life incredibly.
He's the only one that give effects to also. Gotta give it to Gad. That hat did fit him perfect too. That's not Katana, what the hell?
Well, I think Katana.
They just been showing that same bitch.
One of the favorite characters.
They actually just changed her color, huh?
I mean, she was a new character. She had ridiculous combos that people, you know, came up with that I had not even thought of. And so when I saw people doing Katana combos, you know, in the corner, you knew there was something special because people were taking the game in a direction that you didn't even think of. Well, Katana was similar to Mileena in that had a limited amount of memory than the Mortal Kombat 2 machine, and we wanted to get 12 characters out. So Katana and Mileena are really kind of the female version of Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Katana wins. The clock's done.
They should have had an autoplay feature. He must corrupt his own soul.
I think Nightwolf is your quintessential Native American icon.
I remember that happening in the Perception story mode. I had to do that to get to the Netherrealm, I'm pretty sure.
Just a strong, proud person with, you know, pride. He's got honor, has rules, but at the same time, he is definitely no pushover. Well, the Nightwolf costume looked a lot better on the drawing than I think it did on me, but you know, we made do. Nightwolf's fatality was holding his tomahawk up to the sky, channeling light into it, right into his enemy for his final blow.
He looked really sick in the game, for sure. Goro.
There were actually 2 Goro models made, and one was used for the actual game. It was posed and, you know, changed so much that it kind of fell apart over time. And I have one of the original Goro models that's stashed away at home.
Flawless victory.
My name's Rich DeVizio. I played Kano.
Oh my God, is that Quan Chi?
And Mortal Kombat 3.
His music just sounded like it went Quan Chi.
We wanted to make a guy who was kind of half cyborg, half human, and so we put this metal plate on his face. Again, we bought something at a costume store, and, you know, put makeup on and attached it. And the guy who played Kano, this guy Rich DeVizio, he brought it to a new level. He gave him his character. He just, you know, really became Kano in a sense.
It becomes a part of me.
When I played Kano, I actually felt that it was kind of a showcase for myself to become larger than life with this character. I really believe that I can be this guy, and it worked out very well. It's not hard for me to embrace a character and become it. One of the favorite moves that I like that Kano did was his fatality, and it goes a little something like this. Kano wins!
That was bald Kano.
Fight! Finish him! Fatality.
I guess not many people know that the Tanya character is named after my sister, who's named Tanya, and as well as my other sister's name is Sonia.
Tanya is the daughter of an Edenian ambassador, but she has sided with the bad guys in previous games. She turned on Liu Kang in her ending in Mortal Kombat 4, that she, you know, sided with Shinnok, you know, and she sided with the Deadly Alliance even at one point. Now she's siding with the Dragon King, not so much because she wanted to, but because she was almost forced into it. She's an enemy of Jade and Kitana and Sindel, you know, because she's a traitor. She's a traitor to Edenia, she's a traitor to the realms, and she's, you know, not a good person.
Tanya's always had her boomerang projectile move, which is one of the more outrageous projectile moves in the game. And we're giving her that boomerang move in Deception again. And in addition to that, she has a weapon. So she has a bigger arsenal of attacks than she did in the previous games.
Finish him!
Oh, that tree is gross. I like the OG forest though, with the flag. Last page? Oh, is another Hotaru Smoke Baraka. Oh my.
Hotaru's mission is to keep order at any and all costs.
Hotaru is an interesting character. He kind of has this whole loyalty and order persona, and he has kind of a big presence.
When designing Hotaru's costume, at first I took his name into account because his name means firefly in Japanese. So went off in like this bug-like direction, but ended up with more of like a hard shell armor that was less bug-like and more warrior-like.
So with Hotaru and Havoc, we wanted to try, what about chaos and order? Hotaru is basically on the order side. Havoc is on the chaos side. For instance, Hotaru actually sides with the Dragon King for the sole reason that he will bring order to the universe. You know, he doesn't care how he brings order to the universe, but he will bring order to the universe.
One of his attacks that I like to use a lot, which is his projectile that shoots at the ground and kind of explodes out. I think it's visually one of the most exciting moves to see, but also it has dramatic strategic value when you're playing.
It's cool because like, you can shoot the projectile and it enables you to go ahead and do a second move if you're quick enough. You know, so it's cool. You get a chance to maybe do a combo.
Hotaru came out pretty interesting that he has a lot of cool effects and I would say some signature moves that'll make him pretty popular.
Hotaru is definitely one of the more striking characters in the game as far as all the new characters.
Hotaru will uphold the letter of the law regardless of the consequences or the means to get there.
Hotaru wins. Fatality.
Here we go, my boy Shujinko.
This place, it feels dark.
As dark as every heart that inhabits it.
Shujinko is kind of our next generation Liu Kang.
Through the conquest mode, you learn about Shujinko's past.
He lives in the MK universe, meets up with all the characters, and eventually trains to become a warrior.
It's kind of fun walking around, you know, and you know, you meet with Sub-Zero or an ancestor of Sub-Zero.
I am Princess Kitana. If you are the champion of the Elder Gods, perhaps you can aid us in our struggle.
When you finish it, you see him at age, 60 or something like that, and that's when he is basically unlocked in the arcade game.
Shujinko wins.
Everything from, 20-year-old Shujinko up to old man Shujinko is voiced by Max Crawford.
Younger Shujinko is just a little variation of my actual voice. Good to see you again, Damashi. It was fun doing the old man. Oh, Master Boraicho, crack the dojo
Fucking
window.
Domashi. Yes, Domashi. Oh my. That's funny. He sounds just like the guy that he plays. That's crazy. Just weird seeing him on camera doing it. Good to see you again, Domashi.
Smoke originally came from our memory limitations that we've had in doing arcade games. And just as Scorpion and Sub-Zero were using the same images and getting more mileage out of them by changing the color, when we were out of memory for Mortal Kombat 2, I always liked putting in secret characters in the game at the last minute that nobody knows about. That was kind of like the origin of Smoke and Jade. They were, just kind of like the alternate colored versions of Sub-Zero and Mileena and Katana.
He had a lot of cool moves as a robot. He had this grappling hook that would come out of his chest, and just had a lot of cool moves, which made him a player favorite. We brought Smoke
I think
back
this
for
guy's been
Deception
talking
because
about
Smoke
stuff
was
coming out of the
asking about it
cyborg's
for a
chest the
while
whole
now. It was
time.
funny because a lot of fans like the Ninja version, a lot of fans like the robot version. So we thought it would be a good idea to bring back both.
Every one of our characters in Deception has kind of two costumes, and so for Smoke, we decided we're going to have him be a normal ninja, like people had seen him before in Mortal Kombat 2, and then also his Mortal Kombat 3 persona, which is kind of like the cybernetic ninja. Players can pick which one they want to play as.
My name's Rich DeVizio, and I played Baraka in Mortal Kombat.
Oh my god, he just plays all the bald people.
We were trying to come up with characters, you know, and we were going to costume stores and looking around and found a mask of this monster.
There was this very tight mask that I had to wear.
You know, painted it up, you know, kind of made it all butchered up his face.
And I just remember tons and tons of water just coming down my neck.
And we took like, you know, fake nails and put them on for his teeth and spray painted them silver.
This mask was skin tight.
And those made up his teeth. And so people don't realize that, you know,
They're just talking
this really
about the
scary
fucking
creature
mask.
is made up.
That's all I can remember. But the other ones is like a good experience.
Fingernails that were bought in a...
This fucking mask.
That shoot was unbelievable.
Baraka hasn't been in many Mortal Kombat games, but he's been a fan favorite for a long time.
Baraka wins.
Hello, my name is John Parrish. I am Jax!
Fatality.
Being the big guy, I was using raw strength and mental attitude. Be energetic, to be powerful, to actually portray myself as a hero, as I would look at it.
John Parrish was great to work with. He was really one of the easiest guys to work with in terms of being able to do all the moves and all of the special attacks.
I am the real Jax.
We worked with him throughout Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3, and he did a lot of promotional stuff with us.
Oh hell yeah, the backflip.
When he first put the makeup on my arms, it took him 6 hours to do total.
There's no way, bro. Just make this motherfucker dip his arms in some bucket of paint. You're good.
Actually, it feels great to be part of the Mortal Kombat legacy.
I wonder how many of these people play the game. I mean, imagine you have to like see, but I wonder.
Sonya is a badass.
Terry was easily one of the best people we've worked with in terms of actors playing the characters.
Yes, I still have the Sonya costume. Every once in a while, I'll bring it out.
I'll absolutely see Sonya again in future Mortal Kombat games.
I would love to play Sonya again.
The final page, hoorah! Got a few bangers on here, a few outrights.
Reptile wins. Fatality.
Reptile actually was the character that I came up with driving back to work from lunch on a Saturday. We had seen how much we got away with in terms of Scorpion and Sub-Zero changing ninja palettes, and I really wanted a super secret hidden feature in Mortal Kombat 1. And came up with these really odd set of circumstances to make Reptile appear. It was rare enough that people would say that they had seen him and nobody would believe him, and so it worked out perfectly.
I am Reptile. I talk like this. And then I have to go like this.
Yeah, Reptile, the infamous Green Man. It was another one of those characters where they swap some of the images from one character to another. I saw those moves that they told me to do that were for other characters, like for example the Force Ball, you know, when I put my hands out and then a big ball comes rolling out. That was for Reptile, but here I had no clue at that time.
Reptile wins. Fatality.
Now they get you to play multiple characters. Oh my god. Shook the whole setup real quick. Shang Tsung killed Shao Kahn?
Shang Tsung, he is the symbol of evil for Mortal Kombat. He's always around. I think he's been in almost every game. His job in Mortal Kombat 1 was to win Earthrealm for Shao Kahn.
Shang Tsung's stance I thought was really unusual, and it was kind of like this. Very different, very unique from all the rest of the characters in the game.
Kung Lao, Johnny Cage, Reptile.
The song is just saying their name.
Shao Kahn wanted to take over Earthrealm, and through the Mortal Kombat tournament, he was going to do it.
Shang Tsung was probably one of my favorite characters in the series. He always kind of had the sinister edge, more so than some of the other characters.
And the song says Toasty.
Kind of feel.
This map, bro, what? This map is sick. This
Deadly
Deadly Alliance has the
In Mortal
banger
Kombat
maps. What
Deadly
the
Alliance,
fuck?
Shang Tsung teams up with the sorcerer Quan Chi.
That's what they
Both
spent all
of
their
them
time
not
on,
only
is the
kill Liu
maps.
Kang, but they kill Shao Kahn as well.
And this song, they're just doing like fucking attack sounds. This song is amazing. Are we just playing Johnny Cage's movies? That's all it is.
Johnny Cage wins. Finish her. Johnny Cage wins. Flawless victory.
Maybe that's why everything's so exaggerated too. It really is. You're just playing Johnny Cage's movies. He was about to miss.
Johnny Cage wins. Fatality.
Johnny Cage was kind of like our version of a Hollywood action star.
He's the one character not to take too seriously. He's not a brooding hero. He's a, hey kind of hero. He's a Hollywood guy.
A lot of flair, a lot of pizzazz, still very skilled martial artist, but put in the situation with all these noble Shaolin monks and Lin Kuei ninjas.
Johnny Cage, to me, is almost like the comic relief of Mortal Kombat. He's the actor, so he doesn't take this all as seriously as a Liu Kang or a Raiden or Kung Lao will take it.
That is really sick. I did not know any of that. She's a demon who found a holy sword to escape Netherrealm.
Ashra's always
She just has to kill demons?
associated as looking. People think she's a female Raiden, which was never the intention. But I think it's because she had the whole white garment on and a hat. Everybody associated her with female Raiden, which was wrong. She's probably one of the stronger characters in the game because she has a very large number of special moves. She has probably one of the higher count of special moves than any of the characters in Deception.
The idea behind Ashra, her storyline, is that she is a demon who has found this sword that as she kills other demons, she becomes more and more holy. And she's figured out that if she keeps doing this, eventually she'll be expelled from the Netherrealm, and that's what she really wants. No one
That's
really
pretty
wants
badass.
to stay in the Netherrealm.
She has a real sense of purity, where she's drawing herself up out of the murk. It is something that a theme that Mortal Kombat hasn't really hit much on before.
As she kills demons in the Netherrealm, she's purifying herself. We like to think of her as an ascending demon as opposed to a fallen angel. Ashra is basically a bad character that's becoming good, that's trying to redeem herself. As she kills demons, she becomes better.
What I really enjoy is her magical abilities. When I'm playing with the Ashra character, she has the vertical spin.
This guy plays the game still.
Where she comes directly at you. She can throw projectiles up in the air, which will come down on your head, as well as a close attack on you. So she has these varied special abilities that are magical, kind of in nature, which really makes her fun to play.
Of all the new characters in Mortal Kombat Deception, I suspect that Ashra will probably have the biggest impact. Her looks and her moves, I think she'll have the biggest impact in Deception.
Bro, you have Shijinko, and you're saying she has... Oh, that's kind of sick. She's really cool, but I think it's the hat, honestly, the part I don't like. I like the veil and everything, but maybe the hat's a little too big. Or it should have been a full veil, I don't even know. Her story's sick, I didn't even know that.
Fatality.
Darius was the last character that we came up with for Deception.
He plays a little on the Chaos side with this new Chaos Order element that we have going in Mortal Kombat Deception. He is from Hotaru's realm of order, but he's the leader of the resistance movement.
We were trying to find two different looks for him. His primary look was more like a uniform. That would be one of the underground organizations in NetherRealm or Outworld. But we wanted to go a different route with his alternate and kind of pay tribute to a lot of the films that influenced the series. And there are certain stars that we look to as inspiration, and if not only in the feel of the game, but also in the look.
I think he's probably one of the characters in the game that everybody associates with certain Hong Kong martial arts movies. A lot of people kind of gravitate to him for some reason. He just has like an appeal that it's hard to explain.
That's a sick alternate. I need to see his alternate in Armageddon.
Mortal Kombat games. I think he's a cool looking character. I like his look. You know, I hope he comes back, and I hope we can do something with him in the future.
He is also another unique character where the more you play, the more and more you like the character, especially when you start beating the people with his built-in weapons and his weapon stance.
He's kind of more of like an Americanized, less Japanese fighting characters. And then he's got these kind of gauntlets on him, which, you know, I don't think any characters really had anything like that.
Just lean and mean, aggressive style.
Darius wins. Fatality.
The main man for the last.
Yeah, Scorpion's always been my favorite character, and he still is to this day.
Fight!
That rain map was nice.
Playing Scorpion's cool. I mean, you get to be kind of just a little bit crazy, a little bit nuts. You know, it's like you're a ninja. How cool is that? I played him in Sub-Zero Mythologies. I did some motion capture for Scorpion, and I played him during some of our live events for Mortal Kombat.
I am Scorpion. You killed me in cold blood.
As a player, if I get a chance, I'll always pick Scorpion. This whole play style, it just kind of suits my style of gameplay. I'm proud to have been part of the Scorpion legacy throughout the years.
The spear move has always been one of my favorite moves in all the Mortal Kombat games, and I don't think we've ever been able to top it.
Get over here!
So if this is anything like Deception, ain't no fucking way. Because Armageddon has the biggest fucking leaderboard. Oh my god. Okay. I think it's only people that weren't in the last one. So it would be every character in the end. That's a lot of fucking characters, bro. Shit. Do I keep going? I've been doing this for an hour and a half watching these. Fucking Dairo. I don't even know who the fuck Dairo is. Fuck it. See what Dairo is.
Dairu. After his family was murdered,
He's even
Dairu's
longer.
hunger for revenge allowed him to be tricked into killing an innocent man. Now the former Satan guardsman works alone as a mercenary. He takes assignments where he can find them, whether they are noble or not.
Dairu was a part of the same military force as Hotaru in the Realm of Order. Dairu was accused of a crime and was about to be sentenced. Eventually, Dairu breaks free and becomes a rogue.
Dairu was a character that was introduced in Deception, but we actually had begun working on him during Deadly Alliance, and he didn't make the cut. I always thought he was a cool-looking character, and he has one of the most powerful moves in Deception with his back slam move that pops the opponent up for certain juggles. That back slam move is easily my favorite of all of Dairu's moves.
Ermac.
The enigmatic Ermac is a being composed of the souls of conquered outworld warriors. For many years he served at the side of Shao Kahn, but has since freed himself from the Emperor's influence. Once a force of evil, he now controls his own destiny.
Ermac has always been one of my favorite characters. He's kind of a more mysterious ninja.
Ermac is a warrior that was comprised of many different warrior souls, all merged into one entity. Shao Kahn put him together and used him to do his bidding.
In our diagnostic screen, it said Ermac 5, and people thought that it was something that was related to the game, but it had nothing to do with the game, and so they thought that there was a character named Ermac. That started a rumor, and that, you know, a lot of the ideas that we like to create are ones that were based on rumors from previous games.
That's a pretty sick looking map with the sector just showing out there.
Ermac's special moves involved kind of mystic psychic powers, you know, levitation and, you know, shooting projectiles, teleporting. He was a very magic kind of orientated character. He was actually one of the more powerful.
That is also a sick map? What the hell?
Kombat 3 because of that.
This is a pretty sick map too. What the fuck?
Slam move.
Shao Kahn's got a temple in
That's
like New York.
easily, one of my favorite moves in Mortal Kombat 3, and maybe one of my favorite moves in all the Mortal Kombat games has been that teleport slam.
Fujin.
When Raiden was accepted into the pantheon of the Elder Gods, Fujin replaced him as protector of Earthrealm. Fujin's wisdom is matched only by his ferocity in battle.
In the Mortal Kombat 4 storyline, Raiden becomes elevated to Elder God status, so somebody has to become the protector of Earthrealm, and Fujin is given that title.
Fujin is was the second god character that we introduced in Mortal Kombat in terms of fighting character. Raiden was the first one, and Fujin was the god of wind. I always regretted us having the kind of crossbow weapon that we had for Fujin in Mortal Kombat 4 because it was different than all the other characters. It was more like a projectile, and it had these crazy attributes that the computer AI had a difficult time dealing with. Armageddon is probably gonna bring back a lot of his wind moves. You know, you can still lift up your opponent with the wind, and you can throw like kind of tornadoes at your opponent, which spin them around.
Jarek.
Long thought to be the last remaining member of the Black Dragon, Jarek had served as Kano's second in command. After his master's apparent death, Jarek fled to Adinia. Shinnok's attempt to take control of the realm seemed to leave him no other choice, and so Jarek joined forces with his sworn enemies, Sonya Blade and Jackson Briggs.
Jarek first made his appearance in MK4, and if you actually look at him, he's based on one of our character artists, Herman Sanchez.
Fatality.
Jarek was a character introduced in Mortal Kombat 4, and he's basically Mortal Kombat 4's Kano character. He has all of Kano's moves, from the I-beam to the ball rolling move, and then he has an additional move, a back slam move, basically causes an earthquake that the other characters, you have to jump up to avoid.
Is this like Cyrax's ship? Was that an earlier version of it? That's sick. I didn't know that.
Once a member of the White Lotus Society, Kai trained under the instruction of Liu Kang. His tutelage complete, Kai wanders the world on a quest of self-enlightenment.
Kai is a member of the White Lotus Society, which is an organization formed by Raiden to protect Earthrealm.
Kai was another character introduced in Mortal Kombat 4. We wanted an African-American character who was very nimble, very quick, like Liu Kang. We really wanted to give him projectile moves that were completely different from Liu Kang. So his fireballs go down into the ground and come up by the opponent, or he shoots them into the sky and they land down on the opponent.
Fatality.
In Mortal Kombat 4, he actually was able to stand on his hands and walk around on his hands, which, I wish we could have had created that for his alternate fighting style in Armageddon, but there really wasn't time to do that.
That would have been so sick. I would have played him if they did that. He doesn't even look that cool, really. Like his other outfit looked cooler in the game before this one, where he was on his hands.
Sareena.
Once one of Quan Chi's 3 elite lieutenants, the demon Sareena had a change of heart, offering to help Sub-Zero to defeat her sorcerer master. This betrayal cost her her human form and brought her years of suffering in the Netherrealm. Now free, she has regained her mortal form and has pledged allegiance to Sub-Zero and the Lin Kuei.
You are still immortal. That means you can escape them.
Sareena's a character that first appeared in Mortal Kombat Mythology's Sub-Zero. She first became a playable character in the Deadly Alliance handheld version. Sareena was originally one of Quan Chi's henchmen, but she broke away from his control to help Sub-Zero.
Hi, how are you?
Sareena is one of the few characters that we have in Armageddon that was from one of the adventure games in Mortal Kombat. So she was kind of like a side character in Mythologies, and so we decided to make her a fighting character. We originally had made her model for one of the handheld versions of Mortal Kombat, and since we already had this 3D model, we kind of finished the character off and decided to put her into Armageddon. We really want to have a certain amount of our characters be new, so to speak, where people haven't played as them before. Probably my favorite fighting move for Sareena is these knives that she throws. She throws them really fast, probably easily the fastest throwing projectile that we've had in any Mortal Kombat game. And you can actually juggle your opponent in the air by throwing multiple knives at him. It's a lot of fun to play. Serena is actually one of the cooler new characters in the game.
Take me with you. I've waited an eternity to escape.
Kintaro. Longtime bodyguard to Outworld royalty, Kintaro has served Shao Kahn for many years. Like Goro, he is a member of the four-armed Shokan race and descends from a lineage known for its brutality.
Kintaro is like a Shokan, but he looks like a tiger. He has tiger stripes. He works for Shao Kahn the same way that Goro did.
Kintaro is a kind of like a bigger, badder version of Goro that appeared in Mortal Kombat 2. He's a lot more nimble than Goro was because he was able to teleport and fly all over the screen, but he was actually bigger than Goro. So it was a lot more of a intimidating character because you never knew what he was going to do next. He had a fireball, a teleport, a stomp move. I think my favorite move for Kintaro is the move that he shares with Shiva, which is basically the teleport move. He basically flies off the top of the screen, lands on the opponent, stomps on them a few times. We tend to give the four-arm Kuotan characters that move.
Killer fatality. Cobra.
Once Cobra was nothing more than a street thug on his way to jail. Though extremely adept at martial arts, he used his skills for intimidation and cruelty. Freed by Kabal and Kira in a daring attack on the police, Cobra was asked to join the newly reformed Black Dragon clan, where his brutal nature would be an invaluable asset.
Cobra is a warrior from the mean streets of America. In the Mortal Kombat Deception storyline, his main goal was to kill people. He really wanted to use his newfound martial arts abilities and see if he could kill somebody with it.
We wanted him to be kind of Mortal Kombat Deception's version of the simple character that everybody can pick up and play. So shooting his fireball is very easy. His teleport move and his flaming fist move are very easy to execute. So we always wanted that character to be one of the more accessible characters. My favorite move for Cobra is this kind of crazy kick that he has where his leg kind of does this around the clock thing and he slams the opponent into the ground, bounces him up back into the air for jungle combos. One of the more elaborate moves that Cobra has.
Wins. Money fatality. Mocap.
This unfortunate bystander finds himself embroiled in an otherworldly struggle simply by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. A motion capture artist, Mocap now fights for his life. Fantasy and reality have become one and the same.
Mocap has a little bit of a storyline. You know, he does motion capture for movies and video games, but it's not a deep story.
I have no idea how I got here. One moment I was in a motion capture studio in Chicago, the next moment I was here.
It was a late addition to the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance lineup.
It's acting.
It's the life, man.
Mocap is based on Carlos Pacina. He's our motion capture expert on the game. And Very talented performer. He's been in every Mortal Kombat game. He started out as Raiden.
Got that on. Got that action working.
At some point, we were coming up with hidden characters, Blaze being one of them from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, and mocap was something we can easily put together. And we decided that let's make him look like Carlos, put Carlos in the game, and that's the main motivation behind the mocap character.
Carlos is the life of this game.
Ed and Steve together came up with the idea of, hey, let's put in this funny, Carlos mocap character, which, I thought was pretty flattering. But, it's also kind of weird seeing, a fatality performed on your actual self. So it's kind of disturbing a little bit.
Raiden wins. Bloody fatality.
Fuck you, Carlos.
Motaro. As leader of Shao Kahn's extermination squads, Motaro proved to the Emperor the Centaur's superiority over the Shokan. During the invasion of Earthrealm, he slew many combatants before they could oppose Shao Kahn's rule. He will slay many more in the battle to come.
Motaro is from the Centaur race in Outworld. He was a boss character in Mortal Kombat 3. He's an enforcer for Shao Kahn, and at some point in the storyline, his Centaur race gains favor with Shao Kahn.
Motaro was probably probably the oddest shaped Mortal Kombat character that we've had. He was kind of one of those, centaur, half horse, half man type of guy.
For Armageddon, we were faced with this decision of not including Motaro or getting rid of the back legs and including him. So we went with just getting rid of the back legs and bringing him into the game.
In Armageddon, Motaro is going to have a lot of the signature moves that he had from Mortal Kombat 3. Basically, he shoots a projectile out of his tail, and he can teleport like he did in Mortal Kombat 3, but we're also giving him new moves. He has this great charging move where he's like this big battering ram, so it's going to be a lot more of a bull in a china shop type of character.
Mortal fatality.
Reiko. Reiko has served as general to both Shao Kahn and Shinnok. He also served for a time as a member of the Brotherhood of Shadow. His skill in battle is legendary, though little else is known about this mysterious warrior.
Reiko is the general of Shao Kahn's armies. Reiko was given that position because of his ruthlessness. Shao Kahn likes that in his enforcers.
Reiko wins. Fatality.
Somehow in our discussions, we started associating him with Shao Kahn in terms of the story, and so we started adding these kind of mystery elements where in Armageddon, some of his moves, he actually gets Shao Kahn's helmet. Reiko has a kind of like this crazy backflip kick that we introduced in Mortal Kombat 4. And he also has a teleport move where he flies off the screen and grabs his opponent with the off the bottom of the screen.
Reiko wins. Fatality. Shiva.
A female of the four-armed Shokan race, Shiva once served as protector of Queen Sindel. As brutal as Goro and Kintaro, she possesses more than enough power to destroy any opponent unfortunate enough to cross her path.
Shiva is similar to Frost in that it's a female version of a favorite character. You know, Sub-Zero was one of the favorite characters in the earlier Mortal Kombats, and so we had always talked about doing a female version, and we came up with Frost. Goro was clearly one of the most, iconic characters in Mortal Kombat 1, and so for Mortal Kombat 3, we decided to come up with a female version of it, and we wanted her to be a little bit more nimble, a little bit more, flexible than this big boss character, so we shrunk her down a little bit, made her more agile than Goro was. Shiva was created using a stop-motion puppet. A lot of time and effort went into posing her, kind of like they used to do the old-fashioned movies with Jason and the Argonauts and all that. Every one of her frames was posed manually and then, saved into the computer and then animated like all the other digitized characters were.
Shiva wins. Friendship. Friendship? Again?
My favorite move from Shiva is probably her teleport move. Basically, she flies off the top of the screen, lands on her opponent, stomps on him a couple more times for good measure, and then jumps back off. It's easy to catch your opponent off guard with that move.
Fatality. Shinnok.
Once an elder god, Shinnok was banished to the Netherrealm when he attempted to overthrow his fellow deities. Upon his escape, he once again tried to usurp his former allies' dominion over the realms. Nothing will stand in the way of his insatiable lust for power.
One of the story ideas we have is that the reason Shinnok was defeated in Mortal Kombat 4 was that Quan Chi didn't give him the real amulet. Quan Chi made a copy of the amulet and gave him the copy, and because of that, Shinnok wasn't as powerful as he should have been, and the heroes had an opportunity to destroy him and defeat him.
The original model for Shinnok was based on me. The artist who originally designed Shinnok thought that I looked a bit like a villain, so he made Shinnok look a little bit like me.
Brutality.
Shinnok was the kind of final boss character in Mortal Kombat 4. He probably shouldn't have been. I think that, we've always traditionally had big, huge characters that were, ominous and scary looking. And Shinnok actually originally would have, basically he would just mimic other characters. He would go through their animations and do their different fighting styles and whatnot. With Armageddon, we really wanted to try to give him more of his own identity, so he has his own special moves that involve, this big hand that he summons from the ground.
Mortal fatality. Stryker.
Curtis Stryker was the leader of the NYPD's Special Riot Control Division. During Shao Kahn's attempt to seize Earthrealm, Stryker found himself among the Earth Warriors, charged with saving mankind. To this day, he still has no idea how or why he was called to defend his home.
Stryker is one of the few warriors that is left behind in Earthrealm to help defeat Shao Kahn and stop his invasion.
Stryker was some people's favorite character and a lot of people's least favorite character in Mortal Kombat 3. He was probably the most urban, less superhero-looking character that we've had in a Mortal Kombat game before that, because it looked like he was just kind of wearing street clothes. You know, he had a backwards cap on. He was like this cop, but he really didn't look futuristic or anything. And so a lot of people kind of looked at him in terms of the visuals, and you know, they weren't attracted over in terms of picking him. But if you actually picked the character, he was one of like the best hidden secrets in Mortal Kombat 3, where he was actually one of the strongest characters, and especially in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, when he was given his gun move, I think he was easily in the top 5 most powerful characters.
Stryker wins.
Stryker was never really a big fan favorite, so the challenge for Armageddon was trying to make him look cool and make those people like Stryker. Stryker has a lot of cool moves this game. He has a taser, he has bombs again, but he just has a sleeker, cooler look.
Stryker wins.
I do like the taser for sure. It looks pretty sick too, kind of like a ninja type cop.
Taven.
Son of the Edenian god Argus, Taven awoke from a centuries-long sleep to a future where powerful combatants wreak havoc upon the realms. To prevent Armageddon, he and his brother Dagon must undertake a quest that will decide the fate of the world.
Taven is an Edenian half-god. His father is a god, like Raiden. His mother is a mortal sorceress.
That looks like Mother having one of her visions. And this must be Father speaking with the Elder Gods. These sleeping figures might be my brother and I.
He has a brother, Dagon, and he and his brother have been put on a quest by their parents that may ultimately save the realms from Armageddon.
The final name for Taven was something that I voted against, but now it makes perfect sense to me. You know, it's one of those things where you name the character, you wonder how anybody can think of it as that name, and then a few weeks pass, and then it just seems very natural. So Taven is the conquest character that was created, that you take from beginning to end, and becomes an unlocked character. Taven is one of the very few new Mortal Kombat characters that are being introduced in Armageddon. Taven has a number of very cool moves in Conquest mode, where he can basically suspend time, freeze all the opponents, and then kind of attack them at his will. And he has this great ground pound move where his fist becomes like a flaming fist, and he causes an earthquake with that. And that's probably my favorite move of all.
Fatality.
Blaze. Over the years, the Firespawn Blaze has watched over the realms, keeping guard over the egg of the Dragon King. His new purpose is to awaken the sons of Argus, so that they may begin their quest to save the realms from Armageddon.
Blaze is a Firespawn who was created by an Edenian sorceress. His initial purpose was to wander the realms and keep an eye out for superpowered warriors, like Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, even Raiden. The sorceress had a vision that eventually there would be too many of these superpowered warriors, and eventually will cause Armageddon. Once Blaze sees that Armageddon is imminent, he'll step in and take action.
Well, Blaze is the final big boss character in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and you can consider him to be like the final big boss. What everything was leading up to in all the Mortal Kombat games, the very top of the food chain is Blaze.
Blaze started out as a background character in MK2. He wasn't a playable character. You just saw him, you know, he's about this big in the background of one of the pit backgrounds. At the time, we actually called him Torch. For legal reasons, we couldn't call him Torch, so we ended up naming him Blaze. What was cool about the Armageddon version of Blaze is that it gave us a chance to throw a lot of effects at him. He has a lot of cool particle effects. He has a lot of cool effects that we haven't done on any other character.
Blaze's moves are just really big, kind of massive. He's not a graceful character. He's huge on the screen. He's going to roll into a ball, steamroll his opponents. He's going to have a fireball, a quake, molten lava, teleport. He's obviously kind of like this heat-related character. My favorite move from Blaze is probably his steamroller rolling attack, where he basically just kind of rolls over the opponent.
It's pretty cool seeing him like as like his human form. He was just wandering, waiting, and then he's all beast mode now.
A wandering Oni allied with Moloch, Draman was once a vicious landlord who found himself punished in the flames of hell after his death. Over the centuries, he has achieved the status of Oni Tormentor, and now practices his skills on the miserable souls of the fallen.
Draman is a really interesting looking character. He doesn't really look like what you'd expect a Mortal Kombat character to look like. He comes from the Netherrealm. He's an Oni, a demon from Hell. In Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Draman and Moloch were assisting Quan Chi in escaping the Netherrealm. Quan Chi turned on them and abandoned them, so they have a vendetta against Quan Chi.
I always liked Draman as a character. I always had a cool design. He's basically, you know, a skinless guy with this big club.
I actually like the one with the bandages, that one right there. I think it looks pretty cool.
This big mound of walking, rotting flesh.
Draman was probably one of the most difficult characters to program just because he had this club on him when he kept switching sides. We had to write special code to make sure that the club didn't switch to his other arm. He was one of the oddest looking characters because he didn't look anything like a ninja. He didn't look anything like a human being. He was kind of like almost like this strange corpse-like feature with a mask on. To me, that was easily the oddest of the Mortal Kombat characters we've ever had. Draman is probably one of the more comical moves too, where he would actually shoot a ball of flies at his opponent. He always had flies buzzing around him, so we were trying to come up with moves for what kind of special moves are we going to give this guy, and then, you know, one of the obvious things was just a ball of flies, and the opponent's kind of waving the flies away from him.
Draman wins. Fatality. Frost.
A student of Lin Kuei Grandmaster Sub-Zero, Frost is a formidable young warrior. Her powers of cryomancy are extremely advanced for one so young. Headstrong and driven, her abilities are eclipsed only by her overconfidence.
Frost is very similar to Sub-Zero in that she has freezing powers. Her initial storyline is that she was trying to join the Lin Kuei, which was just reforming under the leadership of Sub-Zero. So she joins the clan, and Sub-Zero is so impressed with her fighting abilities and a little curious about the fact that she has powers over cold. He sort of takes her under his wing, takes her with to Outworld to fight the Deadly Alliance.
Frost is kind of the female Sub-Zero, if you want to think of it. Ever since we had the first Sub-Zero, we had always talked about having a female version of Sub-Zero. And for some reason we didn't do it in Mortal Kombat 2, 3, and 4. And for Deadly Alliance, we knew that we wanted to have a female freezing kind of character like Sub-Zero is, but give her her own story.
Frost was one of the first characters we actually designed for Deadly Alliance. Eventually became one of the players' favorites.
I remember when
that was a sick map on the ship.
Wind of Frost being a female Sub-Zero, the backlash that we got for that. There were fans that were very upset that we were doing a female Sub-Zero. And I even remember one letter we got where some fan said, Mortal Kombat will be destroyed if you do this. In fact, I think Frost is one of the best characters we have. I like her a lot. I think she's pretty cool.
The design of the Frost costume was done by Herman Sanchez, and he came up with this really great kind of frozen spiked hair for her with, you know, mist coming out of it, and that really became one of her more kind of signature visual traits that she's had in the game. And I've always thought that that was one of the more innovative design features we had in Deadly Alliance. My favorite Frost fighting move is her ground freezing projectile, where she basically shoots a beam of ice at her opponent along the ground, because we've never had one that was tracking the player.
Yeah, that looks so sick. That's a dope ass map. Was that Alliance? This is a sick map too.
The ground freeze is easily my favorite move.
I might have to go pee real quick. There's another page after this too. Holy. Give me a second.
A denizen of Chaos Realm, Havik despises order and sees it as a threat to everything in which he believes. His mission is to create mayhem and further unravel the fabric of life. He will also destroy anyone who seeks to control others.
Havik is the cleric of chaos. Havik's philosophy is that chaos is good, order is bad, rules are bad. His arch nemesis is Hotaru, who is all about order and control. The interesting thing about Havik's personality is that he doesn't form alliances with anyone unless it somehow will bring disorder to the universe. So he's not good or bad. Havik is about promoting his own agenda, which is chaos.
I think he helped Shujinko.
Originally, Havik was designed to be noob, but the design was a little too far-fetched from his original, all-black costume. So Havik was developed as his own character.
We wanted to have a character that kind of looked like he was decaying. When we thought of special moves for him, we thought, okay, let's do stuff that looks really disturbing. So we had him, breaking his own bones. And when he would shoot his projectiles, his knees would bend the wrong way. His Harakiri move, where basically he would just tear his own head off, show it to the camera, and then fall over dead. So we really wanted his moves to be something that were disturbing and would make the audience kind of wince and like, every time he's doing these moves.
I love when they put in the Armageddon fatality. It's the same for everybody.
Suhao's strength is matched only by his treachery. For years, this Red Dragon spy worked as a member of the Outworld Investigation Agency alongside Sonya and Jax. Upon receiving orders from Movado, Suhao revealed himself as betrayer and destroyed the headquarters of OIA.
Suhao is one of the Red Dragon clan, so he is definitely one of the bad guys. In Jax's ending, Suhao gets killed. Jax rips his heart out, and we were fully prepared to say, yes, that really did happen. He's dead and he's gone. But Mortal Kombat Armageddon is about bringing every character back to life, so Suhao is back, much to my dismay.
Suhao is a Mongolian character who is originally designed to be the anti-Jax. The Chinese army did experiments on him and replaced most of his chest with machinery.
Suhao is a character that went through a number of iterations. He had a completely different look when we first started Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. His two moves that he had this big clap move that I had seen in a number of kind of comic books with superheroes that I always thought would be a cool thing to have in a fighting game. His fatality is he has this big beam that comes out of his chest, cuts the opponent in half. He has this kind of circling thing around his heart. Everybody's wondering, where does that come from? What does it do? And that's how we explained it with a fatality.
Suhao wins. Deadly fatality.
Fighting for the freedom of her enslaved people, Li Mei was trained by Shujinko in the art of combat. Now she is a formidable warrior who battles for her people and for persecuted souls everywhere.
Li Mei is originally from Outworld. Her village was enslaved by Quan Chi and Shang Tsung. She vowed to defeat the Deadly Alliance in order to free her people.
Mortal fatality.
Because she had this kind of skimpy outfit, we gave her a lot more acrobatic and provocative moves in the game. So she has these crazy flip kicks where her legs are doing things that are just physically impossible. So she's kind of like the sexy bombshell character from Deadly Alliance.
You trying to say the other girls aren't?
Probably one of my favorite moves from Li Mei is her backflip kick. She rotates around in an impossible way, pops the opponent up for a juggle, so it's a sexy and useful move.
Li Mei wins. Fatality. Liu Kang.
The former champion of Mortal Kombat and member of the White Lotus Society, Liu Kang was murdered by Shang Tsung. He now exists as a living corpse, fueled by vengeance.
Fatality.
Liu Kang was Earthrealm's best hope at preventing Shao Kahn from taking over. After defending Earthrealm for many years against the forces of evil, Liu Kang was eventually killed by the Deadly Alliance, which was Quan Chi and Shang Tsung.
Liu Kang has always been the ultimate hero in Mortal Kombat. He's been kind of like the common man character throughout the whole series.
We don't give him the crazy violent moves. He's a Shaolin monk. You know, we really wanted to make him the character that was the hero of the game. So we did that for a number of titles, and finally we really wanted to kind of change things up.
At this point, Liu Kang exists in two forms. He's an undead corpse, and he's also his spirit self.
You know, Liu Kang was designed to be the most accessible Mortal Kombat character. You know, his moves are the simplest to perform. Towards, high punch, towards, high kick. So he had these really cool flying kicks and fireballs, and anybody can perform them because the combination was so easy to do. And so our idea with Liu Kang was always to make that the most accessible character that, you know, you could basically show your mom how to play Mortal Kombat using Liu Kang.
Finish him. Fatality. Mavado.
A leader of the Red Dragon clan, Mavado has undertaken a ruthless campaign of extermination against his rivals, the Black Dragon. Scouring the realms for his sworn enemies, Mavado vows that he will not rest until every last trace of the Black Dragon has been erased.
Mavado is from Earthrealm. He's a high-ranking member of the Red Dragon clan. His main objective has been to eradicate any members of the Black Dragon clan.
Mavado originally started out as more of a matador kind of character, which didn't fit into the Mortal Kombat look at all.
Mavado was another character who started out looking completely different than he ended up looking in the final version of Deadly Alliance. At one point, we just weren't happy with the direction that we're going, so we decided to go a lot more towards a darker black trench coat type of look. My favorite move from Mavado is probably his throw move, more like the opposite of Scorpion's spear, where he had these ropes that he could stick to the ground, propel himself forward and back, put his two ropes into the ground, and use the rubber band action from that to kick the opponent. away. That was one of the cool moves in the game.
Fatality.
The last dude used to be my favorite to play as in Deadly Alliance, and I think Armageddon. I played him a lot too. But this guy, I loved in Armageddon.
Remarkably cruel, this hulking brute
He was
takes
super
pure
overpowered,
pride in the pain
and I
and
sucked.
suffering of others, especially if he has caused that pain.
Like Dramine, Moloch is an Oni from the Netherrealm. He and Dramine have escaped the Netherrealm, and now they're running amok. Initially, Moloch and Dramine had a deal with Quan Chi that he would help them escape the Netherrealm if they were to protect him from Scorpion. But he escaped the Netherrealm and left them there, and they're really pissed. So now that Moloch and Dramine have escaped the Netherrealm, they have a vendetta against Quan Chi.
Mortal fatality.
Moloch is one of the Onis that made an appearance in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. He's just a big gorilla kind of character, which makes him stand out from all the other Mortal Kombat characters. He has a big ball and chain as his weapon. He's more of a brute, I think more so than any other character in Mortal Kombat.
Moloch was the big boss guy in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, and he was one of the odder boss characters because he had this big ball that was kind of fused to his hand. So we knew that we were going to be creating moves that were involved, this big bowling ball that was basically fused to his hand, you know, slamming it on the ground, causing quakes, smashing it into his opponents. He had such a hunchback that you didn't realize how big of a character it was. Most of Moloch's moves involved this big bowling ball that was kind of fused to his hand, where he was attacking opponents with him. We put a huge amount of damage on the move. He didn't have an elaborate array of moves that he could perform, but the ones that he did that involved this ball were very damaging, you know, almost half the opponent's energy.
Mortal fatality. Nitara.
A vampire from a forgotten realm, Nitara fights to keep her homeworld independent. Years ago, her realm was fused with Outworld, throwing it into chaos. Now that her home has been freed, she struggles to maintain its fragile stability.
Nitara was originally from the vampire realm, which at some point had been merged with Outworld by Shao Kahn. In Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, her main goal was to free her realm from Outworld.
Lewis, one of our character artists, thought it'd be cool to have a vampire element in Mortal Kombat, so he designed Nitara. Originally, we had plans to do a female and a male vampire for Deadly Alliance, but we ran out of time.
The original idea was actually to have a male vampire and a female vampire, and actually both characters were created in the game, but the male character was never put into game. It was one of the cutting room floor characters that may someday return into a future Mortal Kombat game. Nitara had a really cool projectile where she basically just spit this huge ball of blood. So when it hit the guy, it's exploding basketball of blood. That was a lot of fun. She had, you know, this great fatality where she would jump on her opponent and kind of like chew on their neck while they're kind of standing there helplessly. So she was probably one of the darker Mortal Kombat characters, a lot of blood associated with her.
Fatality.
Centuries ago, before the rule of Shao Kahn, Outworld was controlled by Onaga, the Dragon King. Recently, Onaga has found his way back to Outworld and is attempting to reclaim his former empire by any means necessary.
Onaga, also known as the Dragon King, was the original ruler of Outworld, who was overthrown by Shao Kahn sometime in the distant past. The Dragon King came back to life by possessing Reptile's body. You see a hint of that in Sindel's Mortal Kombat Deception ending, where in the background you can see Reptile laying there on the ground after she has killed the Dragon King. In Mortal Kombat Deception, Onaga's main goal was to become the ultimate ruler of Outworld again. In Armageddon, he finds that he has to make some alliances to achieve that goal.
Onaga the Dragon King is the big boss in Mortal Kombat Deception. The whole story is kind of wrapped around him.
The Dragon King is kind of like a character that had been evolving through a number of Mortal Kombat games. You know, we had kind of hinted in a number of our endings that Reptile was becoming this character that was evolving over time into a bigger character. And Deadly Alliance started making reference to this Dragon King character and associating it with Reptile. He was really kind of like one of these characters.
Reptile is
hinted
Onaga?
And it finally revealed in Deception as the big boss character in the game. He's a huge character, massive wings, very ominous looking character. Easily my favorite Onaga move is his throw, where he basically just grabs the opponent, flies up in the air, and then throws him down on the ground. It's probably the most cinematic throw move that we've had in a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that fight right there is the most fucking fucked up fight ever. It's like the final boss fight, like Blaze and the ladder, except you have to break the statues to do damage to him, and this guy just fucks you up. He's crazy good. I'm so close, bro. 3 people. Oh my god.
Creative Fighter. Mortal Kombat Armageddon is the first MK to give players the opportunity to create a custom fighter, which they can completely define and compete with locally or online.
Creative Fighter is something we've wanted to do for a long time. The fans have been requesting it.
This is actually the opportunity for players to create their own characters and have them fight against the normal Mortal Kombat characters or fight against other created characters.
In Creative Fighter, you can pick out every different attribute on a character, from hairstyle to boot style to costume style. You can make the exact character you wanted to see in Mortal Kombat.
After you define the look of a character, then you can go in and name the 2 fighting styles, and you can assign different attacks. And one of the really exciting things is, besides just punches and kicks, you can actually create your own combos. So you can create your own string of 3 or 4 attacks and put those right in the game.
Our goal was to really let the player use their imagination in creating their characters. So we were giving them the ability to define the subtle things, but the things that really make a character unique, and define the character's name, define their character's victory animation, taunting animations, and other small nuances that really make a character unique.
Creative Fighter is set up so that if you're, a hardcore fan, you can go in and do everything from scratch and make this super character just from nothing, basically. And if you're a more casual player, you can go in, pick a default that'll have some attributes already assigned, and you can just tweak a couple things and then go in the game and fight.
Another thing we're very excited about with the Creative Fighter feature is the fact that you can take your Creative Fighter and play him online against other fighters created by other players. That to me is the real test of how powerful your character is, how he matches up against your opponents.
Rain. Although the blood of Edenian royalty flows through his veins, Rain is a traitor to his realm. When faced with the prospect of death at the hands of Shao Kahn, he offered his allegiance to the Emperor and betrayed his homeland.
Rain was a purple ninja who first made his appearance in MK3. He got his name from an 80s pop song.
Rain first appeared in Mortal Kombat 3, but he hasn't made an appearance since then. Rain will play a role in the Conquest mode of Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
Rain was a hidden character. It was one of those last-minute inspirational ideas. I remember we had taken a number of our ninjas and changed their color and created Sub-Zero to Scorpion to Reptile. And I think one day I was driving somewhere and I thought purple is a color that we didn't use, so we decided to put him just in the attract mode. He wasn't a selectable character. When people started coming up with the stories of how they found him and played him, we decided to say, okay, let's make him a hidden character that you can actually play in the game. My favorite fighting move from Rain would probably be his Lightning Summons move, where in Mortal Kombat Trilogy you were finally able to play as Rain. So we had to give him some moves, and we gave him this move where he would summon lightning that would strike the other player, bounce him up in the air for a juggle. That's probably my favorite move.
Finish him. Rain wins.
That was crazy. Just took all his flesh off, but why is he an elephant?
One of the original cyborgs manufactured by the Lin Kuei clan, Sektor has grown more and more corrupt over the years. As his programming deteriorates, he becomes a bigger threat than ever. He may prove to be a danger to all, regardless of their alignment.
Sektor is a cybernetic ninja created by the Lin Kuei clan, which is Sub-Zero's original clan. Originally, Sektor's objective was to seek and destroy Sub-Zero. Since then, he's created his own clan of cybernetic ninjas. At one point, Sektor kidnaps Taven, who's the hero of Conquest Mode, for the purposes of finding out what Taven knows about the quest. Sektor is one of 3 cybernetic ninjas. There's also Smoke and Cyrax.
Sektor's still one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat. His design was influenced by a bounty hunter in one of my favorite films. Sektor just has a lot of cool, techie attachments. Just overall, it's a cool looking character.
Sektor and Cyrax were 2 characters that we introduced.
He's supposed to be like Boba Fett?
3, and they were kind of like a robot version of a ninja. Basically 2 characters who look the same but have, you know, different kind of main color scheme. And until we came up with names for Sektor and Cyrax, you know, we called them ketchup and mustard because they were yellow and red. And for the longest time, that's how we referred to them. And finally, we had a meeting where we had to come up with a final name. The 2 names that people didn't hate the most were Sektor and Cyrax, and now you can't really think of those 2 and think of them with any other names. He was one of the characters who was the most difficult to come up with a name and went the furthest in production before he actually had a name. Sektor's signature moves involved a missile that came out of his chest, so he would use it as a projectile. He would shoot the missile forward. He had another homing missile in Mortal Kombat 3 that would kind of track the opponent. The other guy had to kind of keep running away from him. And he also had a great teleport move, which was great for juggling. He would fall off the bottom of the screen, come up on the other side, uppercut the opponent, which would make him vulnerable for another attack before he landed.
Finish him.
Watching this stuff kind of just reminds me of like the stuff you lost or we all lost in Little Big Planet 3 with like the Mortal Kombat stuff and just all the online stuff in general that was on there. There was some really cool stuff. But one of them was a really well-made Mortal Kombat mode where all the characters were different with moves and whatnot. Like you had your classic one where you would control a robot. You would just like grab and punch, like rock 'em, sock 'em. Man. Legendary. Resume function cannot be used here. Play will restart from beginning. That was amazing. 92 hours later. Oh, I could finally put the game. That took forever.
There have been many powerful warriors throughout the millennia. But ages of mortal combat have begun to tear the fabric of the realms. The critical point has finally been reached. It was foreseen that combatants would one day grow too powerful and too numerous. If left unchecked, their intensifying combat would weaken and shatter the realms and bring about the
Fucking Nightwolf running down the middle. Both axes up. He's like the woodcutter from Hoodwink.
The Elder Gods demanded a safeguard be put in place to avoid total destruction. One that would make use of the combatants' insatiable bloodlust. Like moths to flame, they would be drawn to battle.
That's the best part. Check, you just lighting that bitch up. Quan Chi blocking right there too. So clean. No, Quan Chi, he didn't even see that one coming. Your soul is mine.
Apex of destruction. Alliances will be broken. And old hatreds
Will be restored.
will be revived.
That's pretty much what I said. Even that guy Shang Tsung would be like, what the fuck? Zinko! I don't know if I've ever realized that was him. Just gets pieced up.
It has come to this final battle. Armageddon has begun.
Getting I think that's the main. John Woo. Gotta watch more shit, I know. 2 hours and 30 minutes later. Just kinda wanna see. Is this just Mortal Kombat 3? What am I looking at? Did my game just freeze? Keep it going. Oh, what? Four-player 2-on-2 combat? Who the fuck is this? Hey, there he is. The king looks like a beast in the picture. You can tell she's a toy. I did not click that bitch. Oh, novice? Oh, I pressed circle. E. I'm fighting the letter E. Guess I'm Sindel. Oh, this guy's fucking mad cheating. Bring me to your place, huh? Oh, I whip my head back and forth. I whip my head back and forth. Do it again. Do it again, I said. It's down back X. Oh my god, that was too much damage. 21 with 2 hits. It was just forward X, that's all it was. Maybe it's forward X? Oh no, that's how you shoot that. You calm bastard. Can I grab? Oh. Well, this is a novice, by the way. Oh, no. Whack. Oh, no, 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 no. Ah. Grabbed. Oh, you can run? And run away? I'm in danger mode. Ah! Fucking shit. That's really cool though. I didn't know you could play the game. Was that how the other things were? Because I was gonna say, I thought it was just like a trailer to like advertise it for a PS2 game. Scream. Extras, credits, John Woo presents Spy Hunter Nowhere to Run. Mortal Kombat 3. John Woo presents. Is this just a trailer?
This product is not yet rated.
If you like to know, John Woo presents
John Woo's hard-boiled, revolutionized action cinema.
John Woo, John Woo. Oh! Good, John.
He will do the same for interactive entertainment.
Wow! Games, John Woo presents Jackie John Woo. Oh, looks really good. Oh! Go, 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 go. Oh my god, diving in a John Woo game? Well, I might need to get this. What the fuck? Glass breaking? Oh my goodness, John Woo. He did it again. Hard-boiled the second time in this trailer. What most explosive interactive entertainment director? John Woo Funflip.
Starring Chow Yun-Fat.
Oh!
John Woo presents Stranglehold.
Django. John Woo. That was amazing. Oh, it's a PS3 game? The fuck? Why am I getting an ad for it on my PS2 game? Is it also on PS2?
You guys believe I'm just here to rotate the tires? The Interceptor is amazing. It's got the strength of a tank, speed faster than Ferrari, and then when it changes into a boat, it's
Oh my god.
the fastest speedboat on water.
That's sick.
How many creative ways can you kill somebody?
Is The Rock in this?
Alex Decker, who is the main character. He's an ex-fighter pilot who now works for the government, and he's the best of the best. He is a spy hunter.
Why would you want the collector's edition of John Woo's? John Wooman. Is there more? Might need to look into that later. Mota. How much money did I have? I remember I was going for everything. I remember I was really close too. May have been closer to the last thing I did though, so yeah, I don't have a lot. Oh, what? One coat. Try again. Is that just how you enter cheat codes? Oh, fuck him up. He's doing some testing. Super kick. Look how it just falls and it cuts. That's amazing. What the fuck? Is this replicatable? The other dude just crawls away. What the fuck? Can you actually do this? Why did the other one get bounced in? He wasn't even in the radius. John Woo presents John Woo. This is the ladder, right? Oh, Ryu's on the main, huh?
Excellent.
I'll pull him out. See what he's got going. I remember I made a few people. I'm fighting Taven. Oh, hell nah. Actually a pretty good ladder. No bangers close to the top. Shotokan.
Round 1. Fight.
My blade. Oh, fucking headbutt. Hell yeah.
Round 2. Fight.
You see that ass? Oh. Pretty much. Oh. Get in there. Whoa. My foot was just lingering there after that. Fireball. Of course. Chi blast.
Finish him.
Ew, dude, I forget how ugly his mouth is right there. Like his gums are just so far out. And he's doing Pao Chule.
Round 1. Fight.
Oh, don't do it again. Don't make me chill, man. Okay, ooh, Naga, chill out, brother. Do not make me do this. What was the button I used to launch last time? It like left my foot there too. It was perfect. I swear it looks like a triangle button. I guess not. That looks like it might do it also.
Win. Round 2. Fight.
Oh. Ooh. Dirty bitch. Dirty, dirty. Oh, good fucking duck, dude. Oh, I gotta do the X's earlier. Square's like what you fall back on at the end. Did I even get a chance to finish the first guy? Shotokan.
Round 1. Fight!
Let me pull out my blade, son. Get in there. Oh, get the fucking egg. Get the fucking egg. Ah. How did I do that kick, bro? I swear it was like forward triangle or something, and I did it. I don't think that it might launch. Oh fuck. Oh. Yo, move. Get your ass in there. Got a fireball too, homie. Bro, he's cheating.
Chainsaw wins. Round 3. Fight!
What's your... Wish I knew my fucking launch move that I did last match now.
Shang Tsung wins.
Bro, it was like... What? Why would we do this? Make me fucking switch my character? That's so annoying, bro. That's so annoying. Golly, 90 seconds of fucking cutscenes later.
Excellent.
Like, did my guy just do the move because he was in the area? Because I swear it was like forward triangle, bro. And I've done it, and he has not done that same kick move ever since.
Round 1. Fight!
Ouch. Ouch. Dude, it takes so long for a block to come up after that move. I'm holding block right there. Like 19 years late. What's my fucking launch move? Bro, I pressed everything by now.
Round 2. Fight!
That might get the job done. That's just an uppercut. Ugh. Oh my goodness.
Finish him.
Hello? Okay. 1x allowed in a row, I guess. Gotta mix it up like x square. Then you can maybe go back to an x square, but I think you just gotta keep mixing it up. Squares you can go back and forth with.
Round 1. Fight!
You fucker. Oh, nice. Good punish. Do I really only have like fucking 2 moves I can do? Square, triangle, square, square, X. Pretty much. Why do I have so many fucking air moves? Hello.
Round 2. Fight!
Oh, that's a launch, yeah? No? Doesn't seem to be. Man, I just want to fucking find out my launch move. Oh my god. Guy wants to be asshole. Come on, get launched. That fucking works, but that's so lame. Headbutt.
Finish him.
Okay, this game fucking sucks. What? You can only do down, down X. Right, right X, up, up X. Those aren't inputs. I gotta look at this up because this is just not a doable thing.
Round 1. Fight!
Damn, bro. I want to get up that quick. I really wish I knew that fucking launch move I did, bro. This guy's whooping my ass cheeks. Okay. Okay. Oh, nice fucking kick there, big dog Ryu. That was pretty good.
Round 2.
That was pretty fucking good. I don't know about you. Ugh. Love how it just leads in. Dude, really? I'm not allowed to break her down. Ooh. That move is so bad. That move is actually just dog water. It gets you nothing, and it's such a bad move. Like, puts you in such a bad position. It's like a guaranteed you're getting punished. You what? That was a break. I can't play this right now. I just cannot wrap my head around this fucking. Making me want to puke, bro. Like, how did I do that fucking launch move? I'm gonna figure that out. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with practice with Ryu. I'm gonna fucking test out every single one of his moves and find out what fucking move I did. Because it's just, they took it out of my move list mid fucking game. GG. I don't fucking care, bro. Just give me anybody. Now I can't pick because I gotta press the restart button to restart. This is just type. What, did I do something wrong? Like, hello, thank you.
Boraicho.